Welcome to Salcedo Paranormal. It is December 11th going into the 12th, depending on where you're at, if you're listening live. And tonight I am covering paranormal news. As always, you can find all episodes of the show along with links to social media and other ways to contact me at the podcast page. And that is salcidoparanormal.podbean.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal.podbean.com. Always happy to hear from you all, whether you have comments or questions or topic suggestions or stories of paranormal experiences, whether they're your own or from others that you trust. Happy to either read those or have you join me on the show to talk about them. And so let's see here. Tomorrow night I'll be having Matt on the show with me. So that's basically the next show. And then I will do another show. I'm debating trying something new for that show. Let's see, it should be Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. So we'll see how it goes. I might try something different. We'll see how it goes when we get there. But and then Thursday, I'm really excited because we will finally be covering Avengers versus X-Men with Derek, and that should be a lot of fun. So, I believe that covers everything for now, and I can get to these news stories here. So, thank you all for being here. I see you all in the chat and in the stream. So, I appreciate you all being here, especially for this new time. I did announce it in the server, but and I may have announced it on the show, but I want to make sure this is going to be the new time for the show. It just works better for me in terms of getting enough sleep and everything else. So this is the new time for the show. So yeah, that covers everything. And so I think I can get on to the stories here. So we have a little bit of a mix today. These are all basically stories of experiences or evidence of experiences, which I think is always neat. Or at least reports anyway, in one case. So this first article here is from khmoradio.com. And this the title of this story is, let's see here. Watch a huge UFO hover with no sound over Republic, Missouri. I didn't even know that was a town. Now they do have pictures and I believe even videos here, so you can check out the images here. Apparently this was from earlier this year, but the video was just recently released, and that's why they're putting out this article. The witness says that they were driving and saw this UFO hovering and then moving very slowly. It moved similarly to a blimp, but it was obviously not one. It says they pulled over at a gas station and got multiple photos and videos. And then when they arrived where they were going and tried to show one of their relatives, it was gone, but they did see a helicopter flying in the direction of where the witness saw it. So, and that's something you hear about in UFO cases. Not even saying what they are or aren't, but just that that after the fact or around the same time, people will see helicopters either flying in the direction of the vehicle or flying with the vehicle, whatever it is. According to this article, mentions that it's not a weather balloon, according to what people are saying. Apparently, it looks like it could be a troop-carrying helicopter, except that helicopters, of course, usually make quite a bit of noise. So, so really neat sighting here that happened earlier this year, and now the footage has come out. So, always good to share these reports when they happen, and the visual evidence of them when it is released. So that's all I have for the first article here. Um, but yeah, it is amazing when helicopters are seen near these things, whatever they are. So I'll get on to the next article here. Really do have a mix of a couple different things here today because this next one here is from WNBF.com. And this one says the title is Western New York Residents Claiming Sasquatch Lives Among Them. So these are just reports apparently from um, dozens of people in Chautauqua, I'm not sure how you say that exactly, the county in New York, have claimed to have um, seen Sasquatch in the forests over in New York. Apparently, there is, of course, a Bigfoot Expo there in that area. So you always have to factor that in. The question, of course, is what caused the expo to be happen there? Is it because of all the sightings, or is it because of only a handful of sightings that then led to this convention that maybe led to more reports? It's always hard to say. But so yeah, this is really neat here. Still just reports, but I do trust people's reports when there's so many of them to look into. And so this would be amazing. It does seem like these kind of creatures are just about everywhere in the country, at least in one form or another. And so yeah, that's basically it. They're just talking about, of course, the lack of evidence and or the reports and debating on whether it's real or not. But just the fact that there's multiple people there. I think it said mentioned dozens of people in the area. So that's a lot of people. That's not just two or three. So just wanted to share that. That's the second Sasquatch related article I've found recently. Which for a long time I wasn't finding any that were just popping up in my alerts. Excuse me. So I thought that was neat that we're, at least in my case, I'm starting to get more of those now. Excuse me. So again, a lot of these are just quick articles here. They don't really have a ton of detail on them, but still fun to look at. And so these last few here are more related to ghost sightings and haunted places. And so let's see here. This next one is from uh, Portsmouth.co.uk. I think I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. The title of this one is Ghost Hunters Not Disappointed After Male Reflection Appears in Mirror at Old Gosport Hospital. Really, that's a interesting name right there, because I'm sure it's not the way that my brain spells it or sounds it out, which is just Gosport. So I'm sure that's not it, but it's just anyway. So this is about a paranormal investigation tour kind of deal, which is getting to be more and more popular in a lot of places, and which of course is can be have a mix of effects on those areas, I think. But so apparently, when this or this group was doing this tour, there was a reflection that was seen in a mirror, and a sense of presence felt before that was witnessed. And this was apparently happened after they did what sounds almost like um a séance in a way, and the fact that they were I believe I read in here they were holding hands and so trying to communicate. Um but yeah, neat sighting there. I'm looking here. Um so yeah, okay. So it does mention people holding hands. But just a possible neat sighting there. And Apparently, there is only one other man in the tour, or one man in the tour, and the apparition, the reflection of the um the figure, I guess, does not look anything like that man that was there. So that's somewhat maybe hints at it maybe being genuine, possibly. So this hospital, this was a former hospital um, where it was basically an isolation hospital that is now the location of a physical training center. So it's still a medical facility that is apparently used. Okay, so it's more like a gym now than it is a hospital. So a neat sighting there. I think it does show picture. Let me just check on that. Maybe not. I can't. I am in reader mode, so I might be missing some things here. But definitely check out the article for whatever else it has in there besides the summary I just gave of the event. So, um, it's really neat. I kind of found three different places that have reports recently of paranormal activity, and so yeah, the last one I'm really excited about the last one because that's one of my the most fascinating places to me. So that's gonna be the last article. But we have one more to get to before we do that, and this one is from let me see here, liherald.com. This one says at Raynham Hall Museum, a chance to meet a ghost, and it has question mark. And apparently this is talking about ghost tours that were started up again even after Halloween, just due to the popular demand. Um, and just talks about how popular this is basically, and how they this historical site took a break from those for a while, but then they just kept on getting demands, not demands, but kept on getting requests for more and more of these things, and so now they do one per month. So this is a historical site, and they do have historical tours, but they do apparently the sense of the place is uh not negative at all. So that's a nice thing. It seems like according um to the people that run the tours, they don't feel threatened in any way. It seems like the spirits there, who may be the original owners, such as Samuel and Sarah Townsend, it looks like. Um, apparently they do try to show themselves, but they also, um, according to this tour guide, apparently she gets the feeling that these spirits appreciate everyone that comes to see the place and tries to connect with them, which is really, I think, the best possible um, outcome. It says the tour guide feels that they walk with the tours and try to interact and share their point of view. And so I just like this because it's kind of seems like the best possible situation for a place that is having tours and investigations, to where it's nothing super negative, and the mood of the place, the feeling that everyone gets is positive. It's not um, a sense of everyone needs to get out of there. So just wanted to share that because I like that as an example of how these things can work in a positive, or at the very least neutral way. So, um, so let's see here. There's a lot more in this article here, and I definitely recommend checking it out for the rest of it. So, and like I said, I have one more article here. Now this is about, let's see here. Well, this is from WKDQ.com. And this one's, the title says, Indiana woman takes chilling photos during tour of Kentucky's Waverly Hills. this is the place I need to look into this again soon because I know for a while there I didn't cover it a lot because there was a lot of reports of there being legal troubles, lawsuits or different just troubles, ownership issues. I think is what I heard last. I haven't looked into it a lot just because of that, but this place is one of those places that even with all the paranormal reality shows that you hear about that go there, that have experiences, you can just as easily look around online and find reports from just regular people who go there. And it seems like almost everyone has some kind of paranormal experience there. Honestly, really, that's funny because Matt Tyler says Waverly Hills is my nope place. See, I want to go there someday. I want to check that place out someday. Um, if at all possible, that is a place I want to visit. Um, just because of all the reports from there, and it's not that I mean that in a disrespectful way of everything that happened there in terms of it was a tuberculosis um, facility, and a lot of things were done there to try to cure that did not really work, and that would be considered, and that were. I mean, that sound terrible when you look into it, but then just the reports of all this activity that has been going on in this place supposedly for ever since it closed down. So, um, so there's this article here that talks about pictures that a woman that in this article they call her first name is Debbie. They don't use her last name, which is totally understandable. But they apparently she took some pictures there, and there some of them show strange things in them, and so it's just really makes you wonder what's going on there still. I may need to do an episode on this place, um, to just for more to go into it more. Um, I think I did one, or at the very least, an article on it a good few years ago. But maybe it's time for a revisit. So this is located in Louisville, Kentucky, and apparently these were this writer of this article said that they received pictures from this witness that went on a tour, and here is let's see here. Here is these pictures. So let's see here. So yeah, that goes into a little more detail about the history of the place, and but it's a little bit dark, so I will leave that there for you all to check out for yourselves. But yeah, I may need to do a show on that at some point. That might be a fun one to do it later on this month as like an extra show, something fairly easy to research. So so yeah, but just look at the pictures, see what you all think, and go from there. And then just look into the place more on your own as well. There's plenty out there to plenty of sites out there to talk about the place. Um, so that's basically it. I was just glad I found that last article because that place is amazing to me. All the reports that come from there. So let's see here. So yeah, that covers everything. I posted the question in the chat here, and the reason I was talking about maybe doing something different in 2 days. I'm thinking of trying out some shows or a show at least, where I do a couple of stories like what I shared tonight, and then a couple of stories of experiences. So kind of mix up the mix things up and together, and for each show, and just have it be a show, and just feature two news stories or news articles, and then maybe two true paranormal stories from the web. So I'm thinking I'll try that, and we'll see how we all like it. So that'll be in 2 days. So thank you all for listening, And I'll be back tomorrow with Matt's Owl, with Matt, in the first part of a two-parter on the paranormal and some of his experiences. We'll be doing the first part of that tomorrow. So, and thank you all for listening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow night on the next episode of Salcedo Paranormal. Take care, everyone.